You know, this is our state. We're proud of it. I have been helping with the homeless since I became aware of the problem in our local areas in 2012. I would help take people to clothing banks. I would try to get them, I served all the dinners, brought food, donated, help the ones at the odd sizes find the clothes that they need, even buy them new for them if that's what has to be done. In 2012, when there was a tent city at St. John Vianney in Finn Hill, in November, there was a child molester that was living in the encampment, and there's like 7 schools in the immediate vicinity, so we all became very concerned, being child advocates. We wanted to find a way to make sure that we could find out when these kind of deviants were in that situation, so that we could have, just like they have to register as a sex offender, we wanted to know where they were so they could at least keep an eye on them. Scott Morrow, who was head of that tent city, was going to sue the Catholic Church when the Catholic Church tried to, establish that, doing the background checks, and that's when we all thought something is wrong. So there was a group that agreed to have the background checks, simply because they agreed. They were kicked out. It was November, rainy, cold. Not only were they kicked out, they were kicked out with nothing, not their sleeping bags, none of their possessions, nothing. They were just plain flat out kicked out. Mind you, by someone who claims to be an advocate for the homeless. So we went in to help because there was a dire need. We tried to get them blankets, clothing. They got set up and helped take them to a local clothing bank. And that's when they're sitting in my back seat of my car. They were like my kids, talking about all kinds of things and not realizing that I'm listening. Talking about how these tent cities were self-managed, and you had to do basically what the kings told you to do, or you were banned. And that meant some, whatever it might be, sexual favors to them, whatever. So the self-managed style that these homeless programs operate under, even people with the best intentions can get drug happy with power. And there's no oversight. In fact, is there not only oversight, there's no oversight. Anyone who tries to bring in even counselors, they're not allowed, because they don't want anybody else in these encampments. They want to have total control. But in so doing, they're not allowing for people to get the services that they need to get out of homelessness. They're kind of kept in this and told that the people on the outside hate them, that they don't care about them, the only one they can trust. I mean, just like what an abuser does. Separate you from people who want to help so that you have complete control. We don't have accountability for the funds that go there. It's murky waters. If you ask questions, you're bullied to keep your mouth shut, even if you're not in the homeless camps. So the nonprofits that Seattle has been using, or all these areas have been using, they are very questionable. There have been FBI investigations. In my experience, people have complained to me about sexual abuse, them having to protest if they wanted to live there. I think it's time for a change. There are other nonprofits. I think we need to move on to them because there's too much question and not enough accountability with the present nonprofits that Seattle is using.